So I might have spoken a bit too soon, and for those that have been around here on the channel for a while, you'll know that I might have a tendency to do that from time to time if something big comes up, or if my life shifts in a certain way. But ultimately I want to explain myself. So, for those that don't know what's going on, 1 week ago I announced that the Jampack Report, my daily gaming news podcast, was going to be transitioning into a weekly gaming news podcast. Ultimately, you guys were perfectly fine with the decision. The love that I got was fantastic from longtime supporters. You guys fully understood where I was coming from and were completely and totally fine with everything that was going on, and I was very thankful for that. And so began my week of relaxation. I'd get up in the morning, I'd make some coffee, I'd sit down and play Halo, and then I'd go to work. That was generally the gist of my morning. Now, while this is nice for a couple of days, it's kind of like being on vacation all the time. To a certain degree, you're ready to get back to work at some point, and so my point was roughly about Tuesday. I was ready to get back to the show at around Tuesday. Ultimately, I gave it a couple of days to make sure that is the direction that I wanted to go, but sitting here at 10:27 p.m. on a Thursday night recording this video, I am absolutely 100% sure that that is the direction that I want to take the show. I do want to go back to a daily gaming news podcast because, quite frankly, I miss doing it. Ultimately, the Jampack Report gives me a reason to wake up early. It gives me a reason to kickstart my day. I get up in the morning and I practice public speaking. I cover news that I want to cover. I scratch that journalism itch that I don't always get to scratch anymore, and it does bring me joy. And I didn't realize how much I enjoyed it until it was something that I did not do anymore. Quite frankly, I think that I was just burned out. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes in my own personal life that you guys don't see here on the channel, and so I really just needed a break. So now, this week has been a learning experience to show me that whenever I need a break, it's okay to say, hey guys, no shows this week. Don't worry, that's not going to be happening on a weekly basis, but it's nice to know the option is there if I ever do feel that rundown again. So ultimately what you need to know is that starting on Monday, February 1st, this coming Monday, the shows are going back to the schedule that they were on. Now the cadence is going to be the same, but the approach is going to be a bit different. Over the course of the past week, I've thought more about what the show is at its core and who its audience really is. And for anyone that is watching and listening to a daily gaming news podcast, you really already know the news, you know what is going on, so I'm going to be taking more of a commentary approach, and this is something that I mentioned a couple of weeks back in a video as well. But I'm going to be hitting the highlights of the news, just reminding you of the story, and then getting right into my 2 cents on it. I think that's going to be a much more streamlined approach that frees up some time on my end, and it gives you guys more value in the long run each and every weekday. But 2 more points, the drop is still going to be uploaded on Sundays here on the YouTube channel, and then on top of that, you can find me hosting the Open Critic Weekly Recap every single Friday on a podcast feed near you, with the team at Open Critic giving you a recap of the biggest news stories of the week in gaming, so you can find plenty of me, and now we're just going back to the schedule that we had before. But I'm really excited to dive back into these projects, explore more of what I've got going, and it's nice to have a renewed sense of passion for the show, and I really should have just taken a week off to begin with. So I apologize for the false alarm. The show is going to be back to normal starting next Monday, and I do appreciate you understanding because, hey, we're all human. We're not robots. It is what it is. I run this channel by myself. What do you expect from me? Come on. I'm just kidding. But I do hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you on Sunday for an episode of The Drop. Be sure to check out the weekly recap from our team at Open Critic, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.